I got the phone right here. I got it. We still need this one because I don't know which one we going with yet. Oh, here go the cable. All right, let that sit there for a second. Hey, so listen, man. First of all, I'd like to welcome y'all to Over a Drink. Y'all know what it is every Monday. You got to bring this down a little closer to you and talk right into your microphone.
Yeah. This cup of ice for me?
Every Monday. No, we got to share the ice.
Okay.
We got cups right here. So every Monday, 5 to 6 on Glockaware Radio, we come through, we hang out, we laugh, we talk, we share conversation. My man Dame ain't here today, but we got Darren in the building. You know what I mean? At Drug Dealers and Strippers.
What?
He's in the building.
Where's that guy? Bring that guy in here, please.
That's right there. You looking at him.
What's up?
You know what I mean? We got my man at Tame Arts in the building.
Yep.
You know what I mean? My man and our guest today, Tame is actually co-hosting. He usually comes through as a guest, but he's a co-host today. And we got my man Poe, Poe Sandwiches in the building today. Poe, don't leave me hanging because I look
Poe.
like I heard on TV.
Yeah, no, don't do
you
that.
know what I'm
Don't
saying?
do that, Poe.
Appreciate it, Poe. Well, look, man. So what we do, right? Since we've been waiting on Dame to do our intro, and he hasn't done it, every week we just come up. I just bring another intro in, right, from someplace else. And since we got you here, A2, can I play something off my phone? We ready to go? This is for you since you in the building, Tame.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It's special. I feel good.
Like Ricky Martin.
It better not.
Turn that up for him.
Quiero contarle, mi hermano, un pedacito de la historia negra, de la historia nuestra, caballero. Y dice así. En los años 1600, cuando el tirano mandó las calles de Cartagena, aquella historia vivió cuando aquí llegaban.
All right, y'all, let's get
man,
the show
I feel at
started,
home.
man.
I feel at home.
I like to warm them up
Fucking
with a little
Carlito's Way,
with a little
fucking
bit of something for
scene.
the people, Tame. So look, Poe, I don't know what the hell is going on. We got a lot of drinks in here today.
Yeah. We wanted to.
So look, Poe,
I actually quit drinking like 4 days.
you quit drinking.
California sober. I'm
What the hell I go buy all this liquor for?
All right, fuck it, I'll go.
Yeah, of course. You gotta go.
Well,
I
here's
had a
the
nice
deal.
run.
You don't have to
That was a
drink.
nice
There's
run, 4
pressure.
days.
No pressure, right?
4 days was a good run.
4
for
days, no pressure, right? But what I did, like, I know you're a Maker's Mark guy,
Oh, you got the
but I didn't get no fucking Maker's Mark, man. So we bought this last time you were supposed to show up.
He got the mark.
Some Hayden.
Oh, that's some good shit, yeah.
Good shit. We,
I'll
bought,
check
it.
we only get quality shit.
Fuck it.
So
Yeah.
look, we could either go with that or today I went and copped this one just in case.
Oh, the Gentleman's Jack. Is that what that is?
Nah. Just in
Damn.
case,
Wow,
just in
okay.
case, you know what I
Damn.
mean, you had a problem with the pre-opened bottle.
The fuck? No, I would never.
You know, you never know. I just like to make people comfortable
are a
when they
gentleman,
come to the
Michael.
show, man.
Yeah,
You know what
are
I
a
mean?
gentleman.
So we gonna pour. Oh, I can't let you pour
No,
your drink.
he
That's
pours
what
your
you
drink.
drink,
I'm sorry.
man.
This is over a drink, man.
So
Let
over a
him
drink,
pour your
man.
drink.
Bro.
So look,
This is what happens, man, when you bring, people in here.
Hey, Tay,
I'm
You
a
got the
fucking
list?
doer, man.
you got the list. Tay?
yeah, I got the list
Go ahead,
somewhere
get
in
started.
here.
Pull something off the list. Hand me
on,
those
I'm
other
gonna
cups while we pour the drinks.
All right, I'm going to pull up. I'm going to start with the billboards.
With the billboard?
Yeah, let's
What's
start
on
with the
billboard?
billboards.
Oh, the Billboard Awards?
Yeah, the Billboard Awards with Diddy. He hosted it.
Did you watch any of
And
it?
no, I did not. And it's a shame because some of my peoples was involved with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, actually, a real close friend of mine's is actually Diddy's assistant,
Look at this guy.
which is
Flexing.
fucking crazy.
Flexing.
Shout out to Zilla. Shout out to Frank Zilla.
Wonder what kind of weird shit that guy has to do. You know what I mean? Like it's like,
Yeah,
yo,
yeah.
that's him.
Run your cheesesteaks
Yeah,
and shit.
yeah. All types of shit.
It's probably worse than that.
You know what I mean? But Diddy
yeah,
got up
what
on
did
stage. Diddy got up on stage and said, "Look, man, if anybody in the crowd is thinking about coming up on this stage, I hope you got your business in order.
Yeah.
After Chris Rock got smacked by Will Smith, and then
I think that Chappelle thing.
and then Chappelle got bum rushed on the stage.
Well, when you see the fucking guy after the Chappelle thing,
Yeah,
like at the end of the day, they didn't even press charges. Be like, yo,
Why?
this guy, because this
The
guy
guy
looks
was
like a fucking
completely
pretzel.
broken, right?
And I think that should be the end of the day.
that right there is for you to sit your phone in, Tank.
In this society, a lot of
This is
people.
all right.
Yeah. I mean, these people.
Oh, you really got it. You really,
These
y'all
people
really
up
got
here
that
in
shit
Clockwood, they
together.
take care of us up
Oh,
here, man.
man,
You can just
okay.
turn the phone any way you want to turn it. Look at that.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Technology out this
Technology's crazy.
I guess that guy got fucked up. Is
He
basically
got
what I'm
beat
saying.
up pretty bad, dude. Yeah, the
bitch.
Chappelle
Yeah,
dude.
yeah, you guys
Put him on the Ghetto Boys.
Yeah.
yeah, they did them. They did them dirty.
Halloween fell on the
Yeah,
weekend.
that was bad,
That's
dude.
funny, dude.
But look, man, what you gonna do, man? You run up on these stages, man. Like, fortunately, Chappelle ain't get hurt.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Because he's just out here doing his job. And you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't be running up on cats, man, thinking everything is sweet like this, man. Like, eventually somebody's really gonna get hurt.
Yeah.
And this dude got broke up, and hopefully everybody else learned their lesson, man. Like,
You know, I was sitting there thinking, because that dude that ran up on Chappelle, that's a Chappelle and Busta Rhymes tour. Can you imagine somebody running up on stage like that when Busta's up there?
Buster's on there.
He gonna smack the living crap
Dude,
out of somebody,
right.
yo. Like,
Right, and it got
What?
real ugly quick. Like, even Chappelle looked like he was about to fight a little bit, but then he was like, "Oh, I got security for that, man."
Yeah, let me
Yeah, I ain't got
It's,
to get
it's a
out here and
combination
scuffle,
of
man.
people wanting to get famous because you get famous doing stupid shit and people being desperate. And then you're in a position where you got a lot of motherfuckers that are just doing things that could ruin people's lives, or like, and people don't have like that will to live. I feel like, they
Right.
want to go out doing some like insane shit, and that's fucking scary.
Yo, it's primary day tomorrow, man. You voting?
I'm abstaining.
No.
I can't, bro.
Nah.
I
Nah.
can't.
You just gotta pick a candidate, man.
Nah,
You
man,
got you
fuck
gotta
that.
pick a side. Like,
Fuck, ain't none of
you-
my
What's
motherfuckers
even up
represent me.
tomorrow?
Nah.
I mean,
Like
there's
Fetterman and all that shit?
Fetterman.
All
Big
that.
nah.
You see, Fetterman like ended up in the hospital and shit. Damn, they had a heart attack or something like that. I
So
don't
he
even
can't
know
even keep his life together. He gonna keep us together. Nah, I'm good.
You get sustained. All right. Well, we'll move
How about
on
you,
then.
Mike? No, how
No,
about
I'm
you?
voting,
Wait,
man.
is it Dr.
Well,
Oz
here's
and
the
all that?
thing, Dr. Oz, but see, I would have vote Democrat, and ain't nobody running against Josh Shapiro.
Okay.
So I'll probably go and probably still vote for some local cats just for the sake of voting for some local cats. But you know what I mean? Look, man, I always
Look,
exercise my right.
We got
Oh, we got comments up there.
comments.
what
yeah.
they say up
They
there.
giving Poe a shout out.
Oh,
Poe
it
the
ain't look at
boss.
Poe getting
Damn.
shout
Poe
out. Look
the
at
boss.
Poe. Okay.
Damn, Poe.
Me and
Simple
Sam
Sam,
did a
what up,
movie
Simple
together.
Sam, you look at Poe getting shouts up in the building. Though, to my
Tony,
man,
that's
New
the
York
real
in the
star
building. Oh,
today.
you got the Bronx shirt on. Hey,
DJ Johnny
hey,
Wishbone.
He
Okay.
got
Already know.
the shit, you know what I mean? He got the
Oh,
Bronx
man.
shirt up here. DJ Johnny
Where's
Wishbone,
that?
that's my
Where's
man
that?
up
There's
there,
no
up
one
there
on this
in
side.
BX. Hey, look, man. Hey, Took. I like this new edition,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, this
Thank
is-
you, man.
Yeah, that's fire.
Yo,
pretty
we
dope,
step.
man.
This is a step above like the last time I was here.
This was a step above the last time I was here.
Yeah.
That was
This is
last
all
week.
right. This is all right.
Hey, by the way, man. So my wife looked in the refrigerator, right, and
Yeah.
says, "Why is this damn old English 800 in my refrigerator?" I said, "Oh, Tame brought that to the show." She said, "Take that shit back to Tame." So leave that shit in my house.
Jesus
Damn.
Christ.
You know what I'm saying?
That was cool.
Yo,
man. That's
yo.
damn
So it's
Cokie
still at the house
900.
though, Tame. I didn't bring it. I meant to bring it today, but I figured it'd be hot till you got to you. So
Yeah.
I didn't want to do that to
I'm
you,
a nasty
man.
fuck. I probably would have drank it.
Yeah, I know.
You know I would have.
So what
Open
else we
Joe?
got, man?
Yeah, just fuck it. Just go in.
I drink a 40 of Mickey's.
Yeah. Oh,
Fuck it.
So look, man, let's tell people who Poe is, man, and,
Yes.
and what
Oh,
Poe.
God.
Like, look, we're not gonna dwell on it, Poe,
Yeah, all right.
but we gotta mention, like, you're a big deal, man.
Yeah.
Why don't I feel like one mic now?
Oh, listen, listen.
Shout out
Poe,
to
some people,
Glockenware,
you know,
General Toucan
for
Sam. Yup,
the
yup.
people though, man, look, man, Poe played a huge role in the decriminalization of marijuana in the city of Philadelphia,
Yes.
and that's something that should be applauded,
Yes.
man. You know
And
what I mean?
nationally.
And nationally.
Yes. Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So the bill that Kenny put through when he was
There's Nutter.
councilman.
Kenny put it to his council.
Kenny sponsored it when he was a councilman. You played a role in getting that written.
Yeah. It was pretty crazy to be in the same room with these people and saying stuff and having them listen. Like, I remember they came back with the bill and it was 30 grams. And like an ounce is 28 grams. Like there's, I don't know they made it 30. I'm like, well, if you motherfuckers want to push it,
I trust
you know, fine. So it was really nice to get off on the right foot, you know, with them like that. And I think out of all the shit that happened in Philly in the last 7 or 8 years, it's had the most positive effect. I mean, like, you know, not much more stop and frisk. You know, I know they're trying to go back to broken windows policing tactics.
Yeah.
But also because you can't get people for weed, and now the new law with not being to pull people over with like for taillights and like bullshit like that. I mean, this is all amazing because it makes like Philly like Grand Theft Auto, dude. I'll be on Girard Avenue going like 60 with like a fucking joint hanging out of my mouth. I'm like, nobody's gonna do shit.
Like, but my taillight ain't
like,
focused, so they can't.
right? Like, what's up, homie? I'm flying down the 10th Street projects, just fucking through the stop signs. The cops just fucking giving them the little finger like this and shit. I'm going full 9 if they're letting that, like, you know what I mean?
You know, but I think, man, for what that did for the city, man, and for what it did for people in the city, is huge, man. And like, you played a role in that, and you should be celebrated for that, man.
I appreciate it, man.
Shout out to the sacrifice, man. It was like you didn't have to do that at all.
Yeah, I didn't
like,
know what the fuck I was doing. If I
That-
did,
that's the
I
part.
would.
It wasn't a conscious sacrifice.
Right.
It was.
Sometimes
Still a
that's the
sacrifice,
best way
though,
to do shit. You like get like a hard on for something, and you start going, and then it's like you bang it through. Because in activism, there's not a lot of wins, you know. And I think
That's a
that
fact.
I didn't have time to appreciate it then, and now retrospectively, especially like when I did that park bench with Mike, and we're drinking and shit. Like I'm like getting all like emotional, like thinking about this shit. So I didn't appreciate it at the time, but now I'm older and I try to appreciate everything in real time because your life will fucking flash before your eyes.
Hey, Paul, you notice something a little different between you and the rest of us here, man?
I'm on drugs.
Other than that, you don't need the headphones, Paul.
I don't know what.
You don't need the headphones.
Oh fuck.
It's all right. If you want to
I
look
felt
cool.
safe and secure.
We don't play no
Yeah.
music.
All
You
right.
can just let the headphones sit on the table.
Yo, but
yeah,
listen,
I didn't interrupt.
but to add to Poe too, like thinking about what he's done for that, but what he's doing now too in the community, and
Right.
like, you know, he's like one of my biggest supporters and all the stuff I do in the community, from giving back to the kids, where like I've reached out to like local politicians. They're like, no, so me and him went and gave out free book bags for the kids before they started school this past year, turkeys. Fucking you know, doing like the cleanups and shit. Like I like to celebrate him because of that. Plus he got, I mean, the dopest fucking sandwich spot in the city. Like, you know what I mean?
Sandwiches, official French fries. They don't talk about your French fries.
Crack.
Listen,
The Papa fries. Make sure you get the Papa fries. They're not even in the menu. I always tell people to get them. Can
just
nobody
went
get
in-
them?
That's secret menu shit.
yeah, Dave
Secret
got the
menu,
secret menu.
shit.
I went in the other day when I was in the park. I said, "Yo, man, let me just get some fries. I got to shoot up to New York. I just want something to pick on."
Yeah.
He's like, "You don't want nothing else, man?" I said, "No, the fries is good." Man, listen, I ate them fries, man. I couldn't stop eating them, man.
Hand cut
Man,
every day.
dude, and I'm a
can't-
French fry guy, so I love a French fry, man. And-
Money Belly Stone said, "Hey, thanks, Poe."
Yeah.
Hey, see, people
Are you
appreciating it,
If
bro.
I'm saying,
Are
if
you
I'm
a single
saying your
mom?
name wrong,
I'm currently sponsoring single moms.
You
Contact-
sponsoring single mom?
No,
Currently.
contact me through the Post Sandwich
So there
DM.
you go, man. Poe made it easy for you cats. When y'all see Poe in the streets, man, y'all tip one up for Poe.
Yeah,
Cause
Yeah,
these
make sure
black
y'all salute him.
white
Yeah,
cops
salute
ain't
that
pulling
man.
y'all over for smoking in these streets no more, man.
No.
That's facts.
That's worth celebrating. Y'all,
So-
man,
so-
y'all
so
might
chill
wanna
out- so
just
chill
throw 'em
out.
out. Like throw 'em
Yeah.
down, like yo, Poe, here you go, man. It's on the house.
No.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So we won't dwell on that. We done with that.
But
Poe.
thank you.
Thank you, man. You know what I mean? I would talk about you not feeding sandwiches to the cops, man. Because that's pretty entertaining.
Yo, you know what? No, fuck that. We're going to bring that up since
gonna
you brought it
bring that
up. I'm going to tell you why, right? So, you know, this is my brother. And I also have another brother who happens to be a detective. So, wait. The funny shit is, I go out
so
of
you
my
stuck
way.
in the middle.
Deeper. I go out of my way the day before to introduce Poe to my man's. Like, yo, here y'all go, man. Show. You know, my man's just, he's like us. He's just a detective, but he's, you know, he's the homie.
He's from the neighborhood.
So-
We're trying to
yeah.
familiarize with the police, build community relations.
So yeah, yo, my man Poe. So they're like, yo, my man Poe, that's love, blah, blah, blah. The morning after, fuck the cops. No cops is getting fed here. I'm like, my man, I just introduced you to the detective. Yo. Like, how do you do this? Oh man.
So D, so during Black Lives Matter, they reached out to Poe and asked him if he would feed the cops. Like, yo, can you send some sandwiches to the cops?
He said no.
And he said, "Fuck
Poe
no."
was like, fuck them cops.
And
Fuck them
but then
kids.
I blew it up by like putting it out on the Instagram, be like, if you're police, you know, like, don't fucking try to get food from me or whatever.
Yeah.
And then Philly Mag picked it up, and then all of a sudden I must have been I was putting every Blue Lives Matter group like around the country. Like if you've ever had a cop's dick in your mouth, like every group of people where like my Grubhub and my Yelp and all that shit just got like inundated with like people that didn't live around here. Like, look, I wouldn't say fuck the cops in the city that didn't want me to say fuck the cops, especially when they're like tear gassing people on fucking 76. You know what I mean? So it was like fuck them, you know. And it already,
Sure.
I have had my share of run-ins with the Philadelphia police, and won them all. Sorry.
He the
Rub
Floyd.
it in, baby.
Yeah.
Rub it in.
Everyone the mall.
He like, I'm the Floyd Mayweather of this shit.
You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah,
do
my
this.
record is unblemished with the
That's
cops.
why I can't. I don't have to
I'm
feed you.
unblemished. I don't have to feed you.
So they put it on. They put it in Philly Mag. You know, a picture of me like with a jerk off with a joint in my mouth, like guy won't feed cops. You know, and they put the link to my Yelp and page just to help people like go say, hey, there was pubic hair in my food. Like I'm like 1,000 people reviewing it like that. But also there was thousands of people that ordered food that said fuck 12 on the bottom in the notes and said BLM and like whatever. And I just got caught up as an activist, and I got caught up with how much I hated the cops, and I kind of just reacted. Like my business partners were not very happy about it,
One of them is sitting right next to you.
So, it eventually blew over, and I'm sure that cops go home or leave their uniforms in the car and still come in because Poe's is pretty good. But
They still bring food sandwiches to the family. Like, the
Look,
wife is
you know,
look,
like-
I don't give a shit what Poe said.
Yeah.
You take your shirt off, you go in there and get me a fucking sandwich.
and your wife. Yo, and it's funny. About 4 months ago, I'm standing out front, and these two cops
We
are
gotta get
walking
this
out
one
of
before
post
it
with
go.
bags, and then I look at them. The motherfuckers are like
She-
21 or 22.
The single mother said, "Don't." She said, "Just call me Belle. Where's the shop?"
Jesus Christ!
I also do a lot of outreach down KNA, doing one in about 15 days or so.
Nice.
All right. Well, I'm around K&A. As far as the shop, 1710
Yeah, 1710 North Fifth Street.
North Fifth Street. The
Okay.
best
Go
sandwiches
through,
you got.
grab a sandwich,
Word.
man.
It's
Word,
right
word.
inside Human Robot Brewery.
And get the fries too.
And also, I have a wife. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Talk all that shit.
When he said it, I was just gonna let it ride. But
That's
I'm like,
why I
look,
said, let me just take over.
look, if this is a game he wants to play, he lives
Well,
with
he
him.
did,
Like he
Well,
lives with him.
He was just talking about his business partner. So.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, I
Like,
canceled this 3 times, and I'm like, I got to go do the podcast. And she's like, who are you fucking? I'm like, who am I fucking? She's like, the 3rd time. She's like, yeah, Pizza Hut keeps asking you to do this podcast. I'm like, I'm gonna take,
Pizza Hut?
yo, I'm gonna take.
That's what he got you stored under.
Yeah, 3 times you canceled this thing. Let me smell your dick. No, I'm kidding.
Hey, wife, man, it's legit.
We
It's
ain't
legit.
here.
And I'm sitting him home, and I'm going home to my wife, and Tame going home to his wife.
Yep.
Ain't no telling what the hell Darren's gonna
Drugs
do.
and
Knew
strippers,
it.
right?
I
What is
knew it.
that?
I knew it. I
Drug
knew it.
dealers and strippers, we
Yeah.
can't vouch for.
Name says it all.
I'm just saying those are the people who raised me, man. I'm not saying it like I'm just out here with drug dealers and strippers, man. That's how I was brought up. Those are the people I were around.
You
So,
know what, man?
Listen.
You're a well-versed guy, I
See?
imagine.
Whatever.
I got a good heart.
However
Absolutely.
you want to call it. All I'm saying is, ain't no telling where you going after the show.
And good for you. Because,
good for you.
And good for you.
You free. You free to go do that.
Listen, enjoy it, because one day it's like the last time you jerked off and played video games and ate pizza, and you didn't
And you
know
never
what.
know.
And you know it.
He
You know?
just
And
no,
yeah,
Mike,
literally,
Mike knew my cat was about to die 2 weeks ago, and I was heartbroken, bro. So I was going in the crib after that. I'm like sitting there just like looking at my cat like, damn, this shit is sad, man.
Yeah,
I thought I
man.
would never like be here.
Yeah.
And it was like, I hate this cat. But it's just like once the
Yeah, it
shit
was
started,
gone.
I was like, this is fucked up.
Yeah.
Bro. Like,
Yeah.
Enjoy it.
But fuck
Yo.
all that sad shit, man. What's
Yeah,
what's
let's move back to fucking with the cops with Poe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
This
yeah,
is
So
all
listen,
right.
so the mayor proposed his budget for next year, right? $5.6 billion for the city of Philadelphia. That breaks down to like $3,500 per person.
I bet you that ran the government 20 years ago, like the federal government, you know what I mean, was run on that kind of money.
Right,
Yup.
10,
right.
20 fucking years
Right,
ago, right?
right.
5.6 billion.
5.6 bill, right? So it breaks down to $3,500 a person, and the portion of that goes to the police department is $485 a person. Is it enough? Not enough?
Wow.
Too much?
Too much.
It's like 2 ounces, bro.
Too much.
Depending on what you buying. Depending on who you buying it from.
It's too much, man.
It's too much.
feel
You
like
think
it's too much.
$500 a person is too much?
I was just talking to a dude in a bar about police, and he was like, "We need training. We need this and that." And I was like, "Bro, it's simple, bro. Like, let the community police the community." And he didn't understand it, and he was like, "What?
That's
what do
the
you-"
problem, though.
He was
Too
like,
many
"What-"
people don't understand.
He was like,
Yeah.
"What do you mean? What do you mean police the community?" I said, "Y'all hiring these people from Jersey, Delaware, even Delco, like farther, like people who don't know the community or know these people, and then it's like you have a situation where it's like, I'm a cop. I'm a military.
Are you a
kid.
fucking cop?
No,
right.
no. My bad.
He just said that about drug dealers and strippers.
No, but I'm saying,
He might be a cop now.
Might
but
be a
look,
cop now.
Poe, this is what I'm trying to like. What my main point was. So it's like, all right, I was a good kid, went to high school, went to college, went to the
Alright,
military, and now I come back home in my neighborhood. I want to be a cop. So we get a 1094 or whatever breaker, whatever 801 in progress, and it's Jermaine from up the block who got mental problems, and I grew up with Jermaine. So now I'm like, Jermaine, sit your ass down before I lock you up.
Right.
Get your shit together. But
Yeah.
then when you got
Timothy and Peter, yeah.
From Downingtown that's coming down to whoop some asses before he goes to
what
fuck
you think
home.
he gonna do? He gonna
Well,
shoot.
did they
He gonna
change
shoot
that?
him up.
Well, they said what you have to live in Philly for 6 months is a new rule.
No, they changed it.
They
You don't
changed
gotta
it.
live
Now
there
you
at
don't
all.
even gotta
Yeah.
live here at all. It used to be that.
That's really,
But that's
really
because they
scary.
can't get no cops, man. Nobody in the city.
You said they were giving like a $10,000
They
bonus or
I think
something.
they was offered $10,000 bonus.
I saw it. I wanted to apply just to like see if like I could just get like just I want the first test before they kick me out. You
Before
know
they
what I mean? Like,
I think they do a background check before
Psych,
you get
psych
taken
test,
down.
all that shit.
like
yeah.
they're potted. But fucking, if that money was allocated per person, to be honest, I'd like to see results with violent crime. No Philadelphian feels that people that are committing carjackings or murders are like being like sought out like for those crimes, right? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And when people are asking for justice and equality, they're asking for them with pulled over for being black or some other fucking bullshit excuse it is to be that way, right? So if you're going to get more police after they've laid down for a year because we all shit on them, then they need to solve the fucking violent crime. You know what I mean? And I feel like that I, as a parent and a business owner and a person that loves this city and doesn't want to leave it, I think that that's a pragmatic solution, you know? And I think that you can
Yeah.
do that because if your resources aren't on this other bullshit, frankly,
Right.
then you can
Right.
allocate those resources to train a couple motherfucking homicide cops because these dudes are horrible. 17%. Like, I should have whacked 3 or 4 people last year because, well, I fucking, give me 85%. Put a fucking balaclava on, fucking couple behind the ear, bro. I'd have a lot less problems. And the thing is that shit is crazy and that's empowering like a lot of people that they're not seeing the results of that
Yep.
like happening. And then I don't think that investigatively they're really looking into like the gang problem in Philadelphia. And you're seeing a lot of kids with the carjacking and a lot of that shit's like
Yeah.
initiation / using them on a low level, knowing that they're not gonna be able to stick any charges. And if the worst case scenario, look at another kid that's 14 to whack that kid the fuck out. And they're not even like looking at that as like the problem. It's just homicide numbers. Maybe they are internally, but you
Yeah.
know, to me, like as an
Yeah.
amateur fucking sleuth, it makes sense.
Yeah.
You know?
There you go. So
It's
maybe
crazy.
we should just give you $500.
Outlaw, get out of here. Let me in there.
Right.
Yeah.
That's it. Everybody just give Poe
crazy,
$500.
the crazy thing, Paul. I asked the dude. I was like, "Yo, all right, you get the badge. You pull a guy over. He's got construction clothes on. He's working hard. He's sweating. He's like, yo, I'm just trying to get home. You pull him over. He's got a warrant for child support. What do? You know what his girl said?
What?
I was asking him the question. His girl said, he can't pay child support if he's locked up. I said, damn.
Right.
Yeah.
You can't
So-
pay child support if you locked up.
But they'll put you behind bars
Oh,
for
yeah.
fucking minor, weird, dumb shit. I mean, it's not dumb, but it's like,
Yeah.
don't lock me up for that.
I was sitting with a lot of kids before cash bail went away. They were like 19 years old. I mean, these kids should be out trying to like bang girls and shit. And they're like sitting at fucking CFCF, which isn't like a picnic. You know what I
No.
mean? So like, you're like, damn. Like, and they're like flexing and they're at that age and they're flexing on being in jail where if someone on the outside
people
could
up
give
there
these
doing
motherfuckers
county life.
$300, right? They could
Yeah.
just walk out. But these guys are literally in like a max lockup at like a fucking facility, you know? And I'm glad that stuff like, all went away. I mean, it makes sense. I've been inside the fucking penal system. I've dealt with fucking a decent amount of cases on federal and fucking city level. So like, I understand the system, and I always observed it because I knew that I was a fucking guest. Like, I had some mob lawyer that my mom grew up with that was going to get me out of like the shit, but it didn't.
I observed it because I knew I was a guest.
Wait,
Like, I knew I was gonna be here long,
Wait,
guys.
no,
but
B.
since I'm here, I might as well take a look at what the fuck y'all dealing with.
Yo.
And see.
No, yo,
So I can go out and speak
He worded
later on.
He worded that crazy.
yo, but the biggest thing, a mob lawyer
gonna be honest, though.
that is
Yeah.
friends
Yeah.
with his moms.
Yeah. I knew, my mom
Jesus
grew up with
Christ.
mob lawyers, so I knew I was gonna be here long.
Yeah.
Y'all see these guys, they get off all the time.
I admit it publicly. You know, that also makes me more emboldened to work in reform. And you know what Chris and these guys are doing in the neighborhood and building all that up and building community amongst gentrification also is like very important too, because Philly can't go the way of Brooklyn, where like its soul gets like evaporated into like real estate.
It's headed that way.
You know, and look,
It's headed that
I
way.
always say that Fishtown and Kensington, like there's a lot of empty space, right? Like the thing is like, it's not like you're like kicking people out of these spaces, you're building them up, right? But like what Chris and these guys are doing is supposed to like, you know, fill that gap in between those two, because South Philly still has a lot of Italian flair
Yes.
for as much as it's been gentrified, right?
Right.
So the thing is I move into a project on the north side of town and see that, and see Chris as like, you know, the A1 legitimate fucking community person that I meet in the neighborhood, you know what I mean? That's going to get my weight, you know? And like secondarily, it's a great time to be able to fight for that, because with all this building, you know, you're seeing people like, I would love to see Sunflower Philly get a long-term lease, you know,
Agreed.
or for their place to be able to like let this flourish while everything like builds around it. And I know that even down in the Fifth Street Park, we were talking about raising money, 10 racks to have like a basketball, the courts redone and like start doing some leagues. Like, you know, it goes back to what you're saying. If you go out into the suburbs where my brother lives, there's a YMCA that's so big it looks like a motherfucking mothership landed like in the town and shit, bro. Like seriously, bro. Like it's insane. So like that's what investing in the community is. If all the kids that could go and join a gang at 13 and do some stupid shit could now join like a basketball team or have like direction like after school.
Agreed.
No
That's what
one's
it is,
asking for
programs.
anything fucking like insane. Like when you make it be defund the police or make it be something that sounds nasty, it's not. Community investment starts at the YMCA level. It starts at you donating a couple hours of your time that everyone in this room would and does, you know, to be able to grab a referee whistle for a tournament, like, you know what I mean, or whatever. And everyone's willing to put that time in. And I feel like that we have to do that around the police and around the city, which is fucking sad because they siphoned all the money back over to them.
That's real.
Well, that's because they know how to play the game, right? They knew that if they go, all right, hands off, and the city bugs out, we can come back next year and get all that money.
Heavy.
Right? We come back like y'all need us, right? And
Yeah.
that's why I always, you know, from covering the city for 25 years, it's like, yo, man, it's got to be a cultural shift, right? It's got to be a mindset shift. We can't police our way out of any of these problems, right? We got to wake up one morning and say, hey, look, man, enough is enough, man.
Did you watch any of that the new David Simon Baltimore thing on HBO, the new series? It's like called We Own This City, and it's about like gun knockos. They were taking guns off the streets, but they were also robbing the fuck out of people and selling the drugs, right? And the thing is like the way that David Simon has put like a spotlight with The Wire and The Corner and all that shit on Baltimore and like its policing is crazy because it's not that different from here. You know what I mean?
No,
it's basically
it's
Baltimore
not that
is
different
just
from
Baltimore-
most major cities,
yeah,
right?
and Baltimore is just North Philly, basically, right, with like the harbor, right? So it's a microcosm of our city, you know, in a lot of ways. And sadly, when you listen to the political sides of policing, et cetera, you know, it's just kind of like crazy to hear why things are done. And then you look at our city where like Kenny won't even get in the same room as the fucking 14 other people that are supposed to be responsible, you know, to our city. And, you know, we have a police commissioner that like literally is toothless and, you know, union policemen,
I think she's got all her teeth.
Yeah,
but I get the point you make.
yeah, and you know the unions are thugs. I mean, look at John McNesby is the biggest piece of shit this whole city has ever seen. There's no bigger piece of shit than that man. There's no bigger piece of shit.
But you know, I had a conversation with a inspector one time, and I forget what had went down, but I was complaining about McNesby, And he was like, yo, man.
Dame said, Mike don't watch TV.
Yeah, Dave is right. He know. He knew as soon as he asked me the question, Dave was like, yeah, Mike ain't gonna know the answer to that. Like, but my man was like, yo, we love McNesby. I was like, yo, love McNesby? I'm like, yo, dude, like, yo, he be defending
You drop
cops
bodies.
who are, yeah, like who are blatantly guilty.
Remember
of
Joseph?
What they doing.
Remember what's his name? Joseph that popped the chick at the Puerto Rican Day Parade. What was his name? James Josie.
Yeah,
All right.
that's my frat brother. Be careful.
All right. Well, listen.
Careful. What you say? That's my frat brother.
He popped her, and then I had a friend that did investigations that when he went back on, and then we actually met at a pot rally, and we had an interesting conversation. I mean, you know how I feel about all of these men, but a guy like that if you're not paying attention, like some activist paper, I think actually pulled that he was like back on some kind of duty and brought it back up. But yeah, McNesby knows. I even said to a friend of mine that was a cop, "Why don't you guys get rid of McNesby? Renegotiate your shit. Put some shit in there that you have to be like accountable." Dude, like looked at me like I fucking. He looked at me like I said. Like,
that's the point I was about to make.
Can I fuck your wife?
Like,
you know what I mean?
Homeboy was like, "Look, man, we love McNesby. He does exactly what we pay him to do." And when he said it, the bells went off. I'm like, "Yeah, he does." His job is not to represent the people. His job is to represent the department, right? To represent those officers. So, as a union leader, he is doing exactly what he's supposed to do. It's not up to him to say, you know what I mean, Tame, you're wrong for your behavior.
Talk about this motherfucker.
You know, it's not for him to say, Tame, you're wrong for your behavior as a police officer. It's his job to be like, yo, Tame, I don't give a shit what you did. I got to do what I got to do to keep you on this job. That's what he gets paid to do. And our mistake is expecting him to be for the people. His job is not to be for the people.
Well, let's admit publicly where we're cockblocked, though, instead of like, jerking everyone off and acting like they're going to reform things, because they're not. Like, no, we're held hostage by this fat fuck up on Street Road that will defend any cop that does absolutely anything, and he's not going anywhere until he chokes on a fucking pork chop. So until then, fuck off.
But listen, playing devil's advocate real quick here. And, I really don't give a fuck.
I don't know if I should have invited Poe to this show.
I'm telling you,
I don't know.
Gonna get real today.
I don't know.
She gonna get real. But no, peep this, playing devil's advocate. Like, I'm thinking about the way the city is, and I always look at it like you and I have these talks. Like, it's like too many chefs in the kitchen, and this is what I'm saying, right? So, like, just in the neighborhood where I do most of my, like, work and activism and shit like that, there's a park right up the block from Sunflower, Philly, like a city park.
Uh-huh.
Now, I know the city council that kind of runs that park. So I speak to her. She's with her hands tied behind her back because Parks and Recs won't release the money to her. So then what happens is that block, which is in like basically the Kensington area, gets through Parks and Recs, gets a whole bunch of permits to activate sports there from Manayunk. So now you have the people from the neighborhood can't get a permit passed through the city council from the area because Park and Rec won't release shit to her. So when the people from the community come there, those Manayunkers call the cops. Now the cops come through.
And the Manayunk cats got the permit. Like, yo, we got the permit.
You know what I'm saying?
Break it up.
It becomes a fucking thing. And it's like, yo, we're from the neighborhood.
Breaking up Mexican birthday parties and
that
shit.
Shit is crazy. Yeah, like Mexican
SWAT team and Mexican birthday parties.
And shit. Like, yo, real shit. They out there with their piñatas and shit, man.
Take your piñata, go home. I got a permit. Take your piñata, go home. Yeah, I got a permit.
Leave the tacos because we love Taco Tuesdays.
Like tacos.
You know what I'm saying? It's fucked up, man. Y'all ain't shit, man.
But look, man, like I told you once before, man, I think I'm a fan of Daniel Outlaw. I just think the department, she's just in a bad situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, these cops, Philly Police Department, they're not going to work for her. No. Right? And it's just the bottom line. Like, so for all this reform and all this stuff that they're trying, that she would like to see happen.
So make a move, dude.
You know what I'm saying?
So make a move,
like, but what do you do? Like, so should she just be like, fuck it, I quit and walk away and get a job to someone else?
Kenny wants to, like, have anything, like, he should, like, get rid of her, promote internally, like, a long time, like, fucking cop. Like,
but that was part of the problem. He's trying to break up the internal disorder. Like, they promote internally, and now you got the same people who basically like so now we came up together, right? So maybe I'm your boss now, but you know all my dirt. Yeah. So now you can hold that over my head. That's what happened to Ross.
Yeah.
That's why Ross is not here anymore, right?
He was a pimp. I've loved it. Like some.
Did you say he's a pimp? Come
No,
on,
I'm saying
bro.
no. Listen, some of the what's. I mean, look. I feel like the police department probably should have hired internally. They hired Danielle Outlaw, and I know that Portland like probably got lit with like the anarchists like here or there, but it's really not the scope of this, and like probably the scope of corruption in the Philadelphia Police Department is so like rampant and internal that she's just frozen out.
Yeah,
you know?
that's what I'm
And-
saying. That's
yeah,
what it
and
is.
that's
It's
like-
not that she doesn't have a good plan and knows what she would like to do, the reform she would like to see. It's just that the team is like, F you.
So
We're
give
not
it back
playing
to
for
them.
you.
Give it back to the cops because you have no choice, right? And promote like someone that's distinguished and respected internally at least, right? And then say, guess what? At the end of the day, our job is fundamentally to make sure that people aren't getting murdered and like raped and like all of like this shit. And like let's just like do our best in like that aspect.
So
And
we
if-
just got to get a capo from inside.
yeah.
Right? And
Without doubt.
just keep everybody in check, right? Like, look, we got to get somebody who's been here. Like, look, man, I know you know what I've been through, but you know what I'm all about.
Bring back
Right.
Joe
So you're either
Sullivan.
going to get in line or I'm going to knock you out. And that's
Right.
the bottom
That's
line,
it.
right? That's really what they need.
Yeah.
Because that's all they listen to. Because
Yeah.
they did the same thing with Charles Ramsey. They didn't respect Ramsey when he came in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but the situation is so divisive with the district attorney, and the thing is like, you know, I don't know, like they say like George Soros money and like all that shit or whatever, right? Coming in like to Krasner. Krasner's firm represented me like federally when I violated like in like 2015.
So
I mean,
Krasner kept you home too?
Yeah, one of his.
Okay.
one of his
All right.
Son, you
Yo,
complaining
shout out
about
to
this guy?
shout out to all the lawyers out
Yeah.
here keeping Pro out of
Keep
prison.
Poe out of jail.
You know what I'm
Keeping him a
saying?
visitor.
Yeah.
Keeping him a spectator
Turnstile.
of,
Turnstile.
of the criminal system.
Yeah,
and shit.
I gotta look. Yeah, yeah.
Yo,
All right,
funny,
we getting off the cops, man.
Yeah.
We moving on, man. What else we got, man?
yo, how about that Kendrick album?
Dude.
Love it.
So yeah, you guys are about to crucify me. Never,
like it?
I never really listened to Kendrick.
Me neither.
I was in
Me
and out.
neither.
I was in and out with Kendrick. I agree. I'm not gonna crucify you
All right,
because I don't care for the tone of his voice. I just had this conversation with
Yeah.
like lyrically, I think he's
no,
great.
I never, because of the tone of his voice,
Right.
I never even paid attention.
right.
But I listened to the new video where he's morphing into. So it made me listen to some of the
Same,
tracks. I was
same.
There's one called N95 that's
Oh,
fucking
yes,
nasty. It's the
bro.
second track, and what's the name? And
Shit.
the Pharrell produced one.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I didn't listen. I don't listen. My ears are open to listen to good shit, right? But I also feel like that in 1995, right? Not to be like an old head, but like this record
you're
would
the
be
right-
like
you're in the
okay.
right
like,
place.
Yes,
right?
it would be. It would
Right?
be. But today,
But when I heard it and I let the fucking thing just play in my car, there was like multiple times I'm like, all right, like
Yeah,
you know, and
same.
I'm not trying to be a dude that like, oh, it was like this back in my fucking day. No, if someone's bringing it, I want it. You
Right.
know, like I still love music. So it was actually kind of like refreshing because
It
I've never
was.
really listened other than like on 2K. I think the Humble song was on there. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, that
but,
joint, yeah.
But like
Yeah,
I never
that was-
listened
and-
to it.
And that was catchy.
Wow.
It wasn't like it was a
nah,
good song for me.
I was in and out with Kendrick. Like my
No.
daughter
Yeah.
turned me on. I listened to the album. I'm like, okay, he's good. And then I check out. And then
Yeah.
next album, okay, I like that. But
But
like
this
I
shit-
never bought into all the hype
Right.
Yeah.
that everybody else was like, nah, he's like the next best thing.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm
I'm like, we'll
mind
see.
you, mind you, I heard, reading and like after looking just this past week, he hadn't released anything in 6 years.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
that's incredible too.
Right.
Like just to
Like he just fell back. And,
Yeah.
No.
Like, he
And
just
I'm
was
loving the idea of like post-quarantine art. I feel like that a lot of
Yeah.
records are really coming out right now, and I feel like they're coming out of this place that we all were in certain ways, and like you can, like you're feeling what one's person that's super more creative than you are,
Right.
how they like dealt with that, and I feel like it's creating a lot of music right now that is relatable,
Yeah.
you know, and I feel like that. Arts and culture are pretty much the only things that get humans through the mundane existence.
True that.
And I'm just excited that there's like energy again in that space, and that's why like once again, just being with you guys and just all the people I've met since I've lived the life of a regular guy, it's allowed me to continue to
Yeah.
find
whatever that
'Cause
means.
I don't know if we could have messed with you, man,
Yeah.
when you was living that other life, man.
Yeah.
In, and
Nah,
out of,
bro.
in and out of the system and shit.
Yeah.
You know, for 3 days.
Randy, good to see you again. I'm just
just visiting.
Right.
still got that
Right.
ramen back there for me, right? Yeah. I left some stuff in the bag.
Right.
Charlie
going through, dropping off a few things for the people and
Yeah.
shit. Then
Got some
hit back
meatballs,
in, going back
guys.
out on the street.
Yeah, you can have that. Aren't you gonna be back? No, buddy.
Nah, I won't need it. I ain't gonna be here long.
When I come back, I'll bring sandwiches.
Yeah, right. I'll have new
I've-
shit. I'll get new shit when I come back.
Yeah.
I have a Philly Mag interview on the phone. Can I use it? Anyway.
Yeah, man. Damn, you made me lose my train of thought, man. What else we got, man? What you got? Yo, you got speaking of hip hop and these young cats, you see Casanova pled guilty to racketeering and drug charges.
They used to keep Rico
Him-
just for the Italians. Now
I
they're
know,
spreading
dude,
it
that
out.
bugged me out.
It
when I
ruined
see that.
it ruined the
Bro,
mafia. It
that's the
ruined the
very-
mafia.
It's crazy that you said that, bro. It was like that used to only be like brought up in like
Right.
Italian and
mob
mob.
Right.
and, like,
When I heard
Rudy
that,
Giuliani-
like,
Rudy
that was my
Giuliani-
first thought. I'm like, yo, we getting charged with mob charges,
bro,
RICO charges.
The entire YSL is down on the RICO.
Right.
The only one who isn't is the dude Lil Key that died.
Yeah, well, I don't know none of them. I don't know.
Yeah,
Gunna.
so this girl's talking shit.
Who's that?
Who?
More about you're cut off. No diapers. No Similac. Nothing.
Who's
Uh,
that?
Oh no, I'm just kidding.
Oh, somebody
Oh,
That
else.
dude that be
Man.
like, man, I just
Did
did a
a
bit
bit.
after
The
19
19 hours.
That's Bo.
He start-
Come home.
he start-
Come home
What up?
like come home like
He start-
You know what I mean? Like he got his stripes and shit. Like, look.
He started reading the Quran and shit.
Right.
Praise be to Allah.
You know what I'm saying?
This- When he get out, he be like, "This is the day that I thought about when I got in there."
Like when you get in there. Yesterday afternoon. I was thinking about the day I came home from the time I went in. When you go in,
man.
2 days ago.
My leg's falling apart. Oh, that's great.
You was at Central Bookings, man.
Oh, you a mess, bro.
That's fucking hilarious, though.
Yeah, man. But like Gunna, like I just see these cats perform at the Wells Fargo. Now they all sitting in jail on murder
That's
charges,
fucked up,
RICO
man.
charges, right?
They got
Crazy.
Thug on a bad one. They was like, you see the one where they was like, y'all ain't do nothing to him yet? Y'all ain't beat him up? Or y'all ain't shoot him yet?
No.
What?
Rico relies on rats a lot too,
Bro.
and the thing
Dude.
is, and a lot of it's a
But-
lot of invasive like electronic.
But we
things
gotta
around.
But why do you not know? We know that, right?
Yeah.
We know that. We've seen all the movies. From freaking Goodfellas.
They think they
on down,
invincible,
right? We've
bro.
seen
It is.
all the movies.
They think they
you
invincible,
know how the
bro.
system works, right?
Yeah.
I think they above it, bro.
How do you think that you can get on this phone and have these kind of conversations and then not come back to bite you in the ass?
Yeah,
How do you
that's
think you can say, yo, dude, like that? I question text messages I send
Yeah,
to
I
people.
can't even fucking get a dick pic out there without wondering my life's gonna be ruined.
Right,
You know what I mean? Like, come
right.
on,
Like
You're
there's
putting out-
certain things I won't write in a text message,
Yeah.
and I'm not
Bro.
doing nothing.
This is what I do understand. If I was making a lot of money, right, and I had someone that I like fucked with my whole life, it was like, yo, give me 50 racks and I can turn that into like 500K.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? And you really don't want that person on your payroll, right? Like in another way, right?
Yeah.
So maybe float that dude that money, right? But then you're the guy that floated it, right? And you're the name. Then all of a sudden they grab dude with that 50 fucking whatever,
Poe.
roll him, and then they roll that into like a case.
Oh, you know how I would have did that shit?
No.
You know when you look down the third baseline, he like
That's what it is. That's what it is.
about to be texting on the phone.
Right,
You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
right.
And
That's
it's like,
the part.
they think
No.
they above the law and they got so much money that they think they could like just buy their way out of
Yo,
any case.
I heard-
What were the charges for though? Like, what were the charges stemming from?
Dude, like
Drugs?
gang related.
Gang-related, attempted
drugs,
murder,
attempted murder,
murder,
all
a
that.
bunch
Like,
of shit.
yo, and I heard Casanova. This had to have been like off his first single. He was on the Sway show with
Sway.
with Bumpy Knuckles,
Yeah.
right? And he was talking about how he did 8 years in the joint,
Yeah,
how he
'cause he
did
was
all
in-
his
yeah.
time in the box, how he don't recommend this for nobody. I ain't never going back. Da 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 da. I'm like,
He
dude,
met
you in
ASAP
the
Rocky
game.
in jail and like changed
You
his life.
up. You in the game and you
Yeah.
up. Like, how you fall right back in the same thing that you said was the worst situation of
That's
your
what.
life?
That's what I don't understand. Like
That's
these,
the part I don't get.
these guys get like they become multi-millionaires.
Dude,
And
then
it's
you-
because
like,
credibility.
what's
It's
this
credibility. It's credibility related, in my
But
opinion.
True.
nobody's
Fuck
question.
that.
I mean,
True.
I can't say that. I can't say nobody's question his credibility. But who gives a shit, dude? You up?
You have to.
You want to question my credibility? Let me
Some
look
people-
at my bank account.
The truth.
You know what I mean? I don't give a shit what you think about me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you have to listen. Okay, in a small, minor way, I've recently realized that I'm a business owner. I'm not just one of the guys. I have to like elevate and like run my business. And,
Right.
like, all these
Right.
things,
Right.
and it's like it's been an epiphany, and it's like who I actually am can't. That's why there ain't like nice motherfuckers that try to help the community in business, really. You know what I mean? Like you have to be like a certain way. But I'm getting more comfortable doing that because I know that I've worked so hard to get in the position that I am in, and I'm up and I'm legitimized, and I don't have to look over my shoulder, and I can do whatever I want. And I just stop myself from doing things that aren't like
That are
aren't-
counterproductive to your freedom.
Yeah.
Like, and that's really what it comes down to, right? Like, yo, man, like I can't put a price on my freedom, man.
You know, we probably went from guys like Tupac and Dr. Dre, who were essentially like theater kids, like faking being gangsters, right? To the fact that it's devolved over time to like, well, why can't you be like a complete fucking scumbag and be good at rapping too, right? Like, you know what I mean?
You
Like,
can.
right?
You can.
So real.
So,
But
like,
you got to know
so-
when to stop being a scumbag.
Right, and the thing
Yeah.
is like, you know, that's probably comes with like a lot of things that I can't speak to like pressure wise.
But it's like
you know what
some
I mean?
some
Yeah.
people
Dig
will
it.
really rather be popular than wealthy, and I think that's a big major part of it too. Because it's like you said, who cares about being certified or this and that? Some people would just rather have more popularity and
I would take
That's immaturity.
anonymity,
Yeah, I guess that's
anonymity
it's,
and wealth
it's
over
definitely
anything.
immaturity,
All day
but it's
long.
like that's the
Yeah.
reality
Yeah,
of it.
man.
Some
Yeah,
people,
I'd rather be wealthy and nobody know who the hell I
Yo,
am.
all of us
Goddamn.
here,
all day.
but there's
Yeah.
some guys out there, some people out there
Sure.
where
You'd
they're
rather
just
be
like,
known than.
Well, I think
They'd
it's a-
rather be
it's
known.
a phase. It's a phase too, though. I feel like because when I was coming up, all I wanted to do was everyone to like call me Poe, right? And now when I
Yeah.
hear my real name, Rich, I know that it's someone that like loves me, basically. You know what I mean? And like that separation of things makes me kind of want to just kind of be more anonymous. But when you come from a game where you're trying to get popular and stay popular and keep your credibility, it's probably like hard not to like, you know, especially like I didn't necessarily have enough guidance to fucking like deal with that type of like thing. I can't imagine that what
yeah,
dudes that came up like that, you know, did. And it's just a shame that they're using Rico because Rico is a motherfucker.
And you know, I
Yeah.
didn't know his name was Poe. I mean, I didn't know Poe was like a name he picked up
No.
until
you
we
thought
were
it
having.
was his-
And then he started talking about like, he was like, yeah, when Poe came out, and when I came out as Poe, and he was like, you know, I don't have a split personality. I said, you kind of do. You kind of do. You're two people right now. Man.
Speaking
You're
in
talking
third
about
person,
Poe like
man.
he ain't sitting here.
Yeah, but let's say right. But over time, actually, the cool thing about that is if you are playing a character and anyone's performing, I think is in a certain extent. I mean, like you as Chris doing your thing is not you laying on the couch with fucking Pringles all over your fucking wife beater. You know, so like,
He might be though.
So like the thing is, as I've gotten older, I've learned to know that when I have to do something like this, or if I'm dealing with people at the restaurant, like I can give them Poe. You know, and I want to be less of my time wants to be spent that, and I think that a lot of people probably fuck that up before they get to the point that they realize they need to readjust the settings on that shit.
Yeah. Just like when I'm like drug dealers and strippers, I'm not just laying in a bed with strippers and people selling drugs. So it's like, you know what I mean?
Only on Thursdays. Only on Thursdays. Like I can't do that every day because I'm getting older now. I used to do it 7 days a week, but now, you know, in my late 30s, I do it maybe twice,
Can't go
3
there
times a week
anymore.
tops.
Can't do it, man. Can't do it.
Hey, look, man. All right, look. What else we got? We got about 5,
15.
7
We got
more
15.
minutes.
We got 15.
Oh, we got to get out of the way for
True,
Sister Khadijah. She like to come because we leave a mess behind.
Yeah,
She like to come in and clean up.
It's like a
What she doing.
speakeasy. It's like a
Yeah,
speakeasy.
and then she come in and clean up and have a show with quality conversation.
Okay.
They talk about changing the world and shit behind us.
So that's a good comeback after this.
Yeah. Sister Khadijah come in and she be ready. Speaking of that, Tame's the artist, man. $195 million for an Andy Warhol Marilyn Monroe joint.
Bro, that just blew my mind. I can't believe it.
The most expensive.
If I had the bread, I would do it though.
You would buy it?
Yeah.
195 mil for a Marilyn Monroe for a Warhol,
You think art?
You
has
didn't hear
like
what
a
Hov said?
huh? Andy
What,
Warhol.
he said, "Sorry, Mr. Drizzy." for, when he said, what did he say? He said, "Sorry." He said something. "Sorry, Drizzy, for buying art I thought would be worth more than." And it was like he was saying, he was basically saying in 5 years, this art gonna be worth
Oh yeah, art.
Yeah, I
It's
get
true.
it.
10,000 times more. And Drake was trying to make fun of him for having that piece.
Yeah.
But it's like, if I had the bread for that piece, just imagine what it's gonna be in 10 years.
Except for the
Well,
motherfuckers
yeah.
that got into NFTs because you know
True.
what's crazy about that is that art as a value, like the old school art culture of giving things value, I think has some credibility.
Yes.
But like
Yeah.
the dude that bought the fucking like I'm into crypto, but I didn't like when NFTs came along. I'm like Beanie Babies. Don't give a fuck what you're saying to me. You
Right.
know, like whatever. It's a fucking Beanie Baby. But like that shit, it's hard to kind of like equate that to real.
Because I can't hang it on my wall.
Bro, Pokemon Oreos was selling for 10 grand. Pokemon Oreos from the supermarket.
I get it.
Mike,
But at least that's something it's tangible.
It's tangible.
I'm
That's
with
the
you
thing.
on the NFT
I'm with the
part,
same
right?
thing.
Like I can't.
but you got this.
hold-
You got the art.
Oh, the guy that paid $2 million for Jack Dorsey's first tweet ever.
Right.
It got like fucking like no bids. And a lot of these ape holding motherfuckers, that's all right, and all that shit, they're gonna end up like holding their dicks at the end of the day because
I agree.
you know there isn't value in it. And I'm not saying that you can't build in this metaverse because the world's gonna get so fucking sad that we're all gonna
You're gonna wanna
plunge
live in the
into some
metaverse,
Black
right?
Mirror ass like.
They're gonna wanna live
like
your-
I'm a
leave your
Buffalo
house.
Wild Wings in the motherfucking metaverse. to get
It's
away from
sorta
my
kinda
wife
like
and
the
shit.
Wu-Tang
And Rick Ross will actually be
Yeah, the
performing
Wu-Tang
at
album.
every Buffalo Wild
Yeah,
Wings in the
it's
metaverse.
definitely it's kind of like the dude who got the Wu-Tang album.
Yeah.
The dude who got
Yeah,
the Wu-Tang
but
album.
at least he has the physical album.
It could be trash. Nobody knows.
I get it, but what I'm saying is like the NFTs and in the metaverse is like, dude,
Yeah, I'm
Like,
rather
and I
something
get it.
tangible. I'm
like,
with you.
because when we had a Lois on, the Lois was like, every single one has like a serial number and so on and so. But I get it, but that doesn't stop me from
But
taking
it's
a
like-
screenshot of it,
No.
printing it out, and hanging it on my wall.
Well, it's not an investment.
But there's
vehicle,
like there's
you know,
like certain like codes you get with
I
it.
get
that-
it, so I can't resell it. But
it's
that
like
doesn't stop me from taking a
it's
screenshot.
almost
of
it's
it.
almost kind of like having a baseball or basketball card. It's like what can you do with
Well,
it?
look,
Right.
everything has been digitized.
You gotta
and there's
find
no
the
reason
right
that
person.
Money,
That's the thing.
Money and art's going to do that too. But the thing is, the market is literally set by fucking who? You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
the thing is, like, basically, that's all I'm saying. And I think that shit like
Take
Bitcoin
care,
and
fellas.
Ethereum can definitely be something that could, like, you could like show like an antiquated value for what it is, and money has to be digitized
Who is that?
one way or another.
I don't know. Miss Bell says, "Take care, fellas. Have a great rest of the day.
Sending great
Money
energy.
balance.
You do the same.
Sending great energy and
You
positive
do the
vibes."
same.
Holler at daddy.
Appreciate you
Peace,
checking
peace,
in.
peace,
It's
peace.
nice to be able to see who's checking in up there,
Yeah,
man.
that's
Hey,
fine.
Yeah, this is
thanks
all
for
right,
that,
man.
Yeah, Took.
Holler
Shout
at
out to
your boy.
You know what I
Took.
mean? We got to push this YouTube stream much harder, man.
Oh
'cause,
yeah,
like,
absolutely.
I just need to print a little
I-
bigger
now-
because
now I
I
might-
got old ass eyes over here.
Now,
I can't
now I
read
might
that
have
shit.
to. I might have to really get on Dame ass about this intro because like Took, like he leveling up.
Dame
You do a lot of shows in the studio.
We do
Dame.
it every
Everyone.
Monday.
Dame,
Oh yeah,
Dame.
nah. Look at the Monday lineup. Look at the lineup.
Damn.
Yo, tell
Monday
Dame
through Friday.
to get on his job, man.
Yeah, I got you, man. Dame, come on, Dame.
I know he watching. Of course he watching.
He watching on one of us. I don't know if he's on air.
You know,
Took got the comments on the big screen. This
is how we
crazy.
doing it now.
I don't see one show representing Italians on that fucking.
yo, there's
Bring it
room.
in.
There's room.
25
Yo,
podcasts.
Bring it in.
25.
Tuka put you on.
Bring it in.
Yeah.
Pose Meatball Hour.
Pose
Meatball
Meatball Hour.
Hour.
I don't know.
I
You
like
might have
it.
to come up with a different name.
Yeah,
You might have to come up with a different name.
That's a tough one. That's a tough one. That's a
But
tough
it's a
one.
great studio. Like, I mean, this just as a clubhouse. This is just like great.
Yeah.
Really
You see
appreciate
all
you
the,
guys
you
having
see all
me
the
here.
acts on the wall.
Yeah.
Took
Legends.
is heavy out here, man. You go in there, you say, "Yo, Took, man, I like to get a show."
I hit
Find
Charlie.
you a
I hit
slot.
Charlie Baltimore in like 2007.
You hit Charlie Baltimore.
Yeah.
It's-
Swear to
like you
God.
just throw that shit
I saw
out.
it.
Hey,
Yeah.
all right.
I wasn't.
It's great.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Anybody else up there you sleep with?
No.
We might as well close the show on that shit.
Hey.
Let's just run through.
What
Let's
do you
just
say
go.
after
Let's
that?
run through posts of the fucking hip hop.
All right.
Slept with history and this shit.
Okay.
What other female rappers you had in your?
Papa.
You know?
Oh, Peppa.
No, but Chili was my first black girl crush from TLC. Like, in,
Who didn't like Chili? That's lame. Who else you got?
Lisa Turtle?
I don't know who the hell
Who
that
the
is.
fuck is that?
Saved by the Bell?
The black girl?
Yeah. the
Yeah,
black
yeah,
girl
yeah,
was Saved by the Bell.
Yeah, I didn't check. I was a little too old for Saved by the Bell by the time that I got it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The,
All
mid,
right,
the
moving
middle
on.
Cosby daughter?
The middle Cosby daughter. Which one was that?
Oh, you talking about
Rudy?
Lenny
There was only two, right?
Kravitz girl?
Yeah.
Lisa Bonet. Oh yeah,
Lisa
because the
Bonet,
older
yeah.
chick wasn't there that often.
Yup.
That's right. Well, everybody
That's Zoe
like
Kravitz.
Mr.
Zoe
Bonet,
Kravitz,
too.
mom.
Mia Peoples.
Mia People.
Like Mara Van People's daughter.
No, I don't know. Mario Van Peoples too, actually. No, okay.
Whoa, hold on.
All right,
Yo, we
all
gotta
right,
wrap, we
Bo.
gotta
You
wrap.
got
Yo,
your meatballs.
yeah.
On. Now you sleep with
Now he trying to get the meatballs.
No, Bo, you went too far. You went too far.
Damn.
I'm 4 days sober. I'm
I was
drinking
rocking
now.
with him for a
Always.
second.
This is the same conversation we had.
Yo.
Like you go too far, Bo. You
4
don't know when to
days
stop.
sober.
You're right, I know.
Yeah.
You don't know when
That's
to
why I'm not
stop.
on network. That's why I've been on network TV just in like arrest photos.
All right, look, y'all. We gonna wrap it up, man. We got Sister Khadijah coming in the building. You know what I mean? Her and EA Obama gonna be up in here. We always appreciate y'all hanging with us, man. Over a drink. This is how we do it
Thank
every
you.
Monday. Y'all know where it's at. Glockware Radio, YouTube. Click on the YouTube. We can see the comments now, and we can conversate with y'all, man. Y'all have a wonderful week. We do it all again on Monday. Thanks for hanging with us. A2, give them some music.